It is time for Unscripted with the Crackman, Bill Krackomberger. Oh, yeah.
Morning.
What up?
Hey.
Bill Krackomberger, everybody.
I have a lot of things. Do we start with the Bedbugs, or do we start with the Nike store being robbed, or do we talk about a gentleman that won money gambling and was stabbed 15 times? I get just quiet. Why can't I come in and say it's sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops this morning?
I actually have something I want to talk about too. But let's do that in order. Bedbugs. Let's start there.
Bedbug outbreak in Vegas again.
Oh no.
Yeah. You can I'm not trying to be so negative. You can actually go anywhere in the country where you're staying. You guys are staying in a hotel. Just Google if you're going to wherever. I don't care where it is. Let's take the garden spot of the world, Atlantic City. Okay, and just put in whatever hotel you're staying in, and bed bugs the next line. You're gonna find incidents of bed bugs, but
that is disgusting.
Here in Vegas, though, recently at one of the hotels, guests were moved from one room to a different room, and that room had bed bugs. Now, I'm never going to throw Treasure Island under the bed and tell you the casino, but,
no, you wouldn't do that.
No. Where they sweat the money more than anywhere in town that I know of. But,
man.
It's a shame because the old man upstairs doesn't even know what goes on that casino floor. Never mind in the hotel rooms here. But anyway, it can happen at any casino. I'm really not picking on Treasure Island. It's beautiful location, center of the Strip. And to be blunt, I said it on my podcast yesterday. That may be now the safest place to stay because I'm sure they had the team of dogs and bed bug sniffers and that's what they do. Oh. But it's happened that not only there, it's happened that there's 4 different cases here in Las Vegas that I was reading online in an article. It's going to happen. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Go in the room and with a light and pick up the mattress and search? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
and bed bugs are not only on bed. It's on the furniture, so you have to be careful where you put your suitcase. Like in the furniture, I'm saying, in like the sofa parts of the furniture. You have to be careful. Yeah.
Wow. So, there's your bed bugs update from our bed bug reporter, Bill Krackomberger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to. I'm just saying. The Nike store.
Oh, yeah, what was the Nike store?
Caesars, which is one of the most really cool Nike stores out in the back.
In the Fashion Show Mall?
No, in the Forum Shops by the Cheesecake Factory in the back there.
Oh, right. Forum Shops. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shops.
By the Cheesecake, yeah.
It's been getting hit over left and right. It's been getting hit with robberies, like so much that they actually hired the Metro Police Department, the Las Vegas Police Department, to station 2 cop cars outside the door. There's a door right there.
There's a door to the outside.
There's a little runway there right outside, a little side door that gets you right outside, and that's where they're stationed 2 police cars there now. Just
in
for that.
Broad daylight, people. Nothing good happens in broad daylight.
They've had some giant 5-figure robberies of Nike stuff there, and they just decided to finally hire Metro Police.
5-figure? You got to be taking a bunch of loot for 5 figures.
I don't. Is there like Nike shoe? How much are sneakers? $200? I mean, I can't be more than that, can it?
Yeah, but even if you accumulate 5 of those, there's only 1 figure. You got to it's got to be.
Yeah, there's got to be some good.
Wow.
Good apparel going or something. But anyway. Talked about them both on my podcast yesterday.
Wise Cracks with Bill Krackomberger and John Orlando and Randy McKay as well.
Oregon knife attacker.
Yes, what is this now?
Unbelievable. This guy followed this guy home. He's seen him hit a video poker jackpot. It's funny because, Kelly and I play video poker jackpots. I mean, we play video poker. So just to, you have to, it's a shame to think like this. You're in a casino. And you just think to yourself, you're safe. You're in a casino. Well, this guy was followed home. So when you're leaving through the parking garage in Oregon,
okay,
he was followed home and stabbed 15 times. Amazingly lived. They caught the guy, but this story just came out today, and someone sent it to me. Oregon knife attacker, but. It just reminds me again.
He couldn't just say, "Give me your money," and the guy couldn't just give him money. He had to stab him 15 times.
Yeah, slashes and stabs. And he lived though, but that just it bothers me. It bothers me because I'll tell you, it's hard enough to win. Now I have to win. It's like sports betting. Yeah. I have to win. I have to hope to get paid and hope they don't cancel my bets or something happens or they take a shot at me because we know some of the sports books will take a shot at you now. So. now you have to win, and you have to win getting out of the casino with your money and getting home. Now you have to win again. So this is showing you casino-wise things that maybe we don't think about sometimes. Cashing out money, whatever it may be. We don't even think about it.
You know what's so amazing about this? You and I have talked about this before, and I brought up a story about when you and I met at the Hard Rock many years ago here, over a decade ago at this point. And I told a story about a guy who he won a bunch of money, but instead of, I guess he wasn't staying there. He went straight to the parking lot. He was followed out. He got, jacked in the parking lot. We actually got, when we talk about this, and we're trying to do it as like a, hey, keep your head on a swivel thing. We actually get tweets, at least 1 or 2 tweets from people like, oh, you guys are exaggerating. That stuff doesn't happen. Nah, man, it does happen. Like, we're trying to be helpful here.
We're just reporting it because no one else wants to report it. Like, it's not, I understand it's not something that gaming and casinos and things like that talk about, but we have a response. We're not saying it because the casinos are bad or gambling's bad. We're saying it because we're all gamblers. And we want people to know at home or wherever they are listening, be careful when you're in a casino. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's Las Vegas. It could be anywhere. Here you go, Oregon. I mean, it could be anywhere in the country where you have a win, where you're cashing out. This is Gil's words, by the way. Keep your head on a swivel. It's so true. You have to do it, especially if you're someone that, you hit a jackpot and you're waiting to get paid. That does it a lot. Gil, I know you don't really play machines or anything, but when they come over for a hand pay, you know what I say? Do you have to count it? Just hand it to me. Do you have to count it out?
You just don't want it.
I don't
attention.
Want attention. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you got, Flea Central watching you behind you.
No one's saying that anything's going to happen to you in the casino itself because they're not that stupid to try to go after you inside the casino. But as soon as you step out of there or in a place where it's not monitored, then it's, you got to be careful.
Same thing at the casino cage. Just if you're playing, I know I'm talking about machines. If you're cashing out chips, any amount of chips that you feel is significant, there's a VIP in every single casino. A VIP cashier on the side and the back where you don't have to count the money. They don't have to count the money out in front of everybody. So when you're cashing a couple $1,000, $5,000, and now they're counting out 1, 2, 3, 4, and people are like looking like, wow, how much money is this guy cashing out? People will back you online. You can feel safe to cash out outside in the back room. Now I'm going to tell you, I have had situations where I know people are going to say, no way this happened. I've had situations where they hand you the $5,000 packs. That's the money, and they just hand you the pack out of their drawer without counting it. Which you think, oh, that's nice to do. Mm-hmm. I swear to you, I've been shorted twice.
Really?
Twice at $4,900. Twice. Why never $5,100? Why has it got to be $4,900? By the way, when you people are dealing with your bookmaker or dealing with people at home, why is it when someone hands you money, why is it always short? Why can't it be extra? Why can't it be over? But it happened to me in the casino twice. Listen, it's over probably the last 20 years, but it happened it's 2 years ago now. It happened 2 years ago at one of the finest establishments in this country, really, here in town. $4,900.
Do you believe in your heart of hearts it was a mistake or intentional?
Oh no, it was a mistake.
It was a mistake, right?
Yeah, it was a mistake. Yeah, but you know what's even funnier? I actually went back to the casino and showed them the bills. Listen, I know it might be too late now.
Yeah,
they gave me the $100.
Did they really? Good for them.
They gave it to me. Yeah,
good for them.
Yeah, maybe they looked up my history, and I'm not going to lie about it.
You don't want to say the establishment?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to throw wood under the bus.
I
love the place.
Just want to throw the wind under the bus.
Even though I'm not allowed to play video poker there, I'm allowed to play that. I'm not allowed to get bonoses no more and walk-in money and stuff. I still love the place. It's the nicest
place in town. Absolutely.
When I was robbed, 15 years ago, or maybe more, in the hotel room there, they have soft closed doors, which I talked about this. Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
They gave me back the money. The guy asked me how much money was how much money. I told him the amount. He's like, give it out of the cage. Give it to him, cash. That day, not a month, not investigation. Didn't go. They gave me the cash out of the cage. They gave me my $11,000 voucher. It was solved. So the win is class, all class.
Random slot question for you, Billy. Is it better to play higher denominations and less credits, or lower denominations and max credits when hunting for bonuses on games like Huff and Puff, Dragon Link, etc.? I never played slots, but last time I was in town, I hit big. Now I'm hooked.
So, I always say if there's a progressive jackpot or anything involved where you have to play max coins, you have to bet the max coins. You don't want to bet one coin when the top jackpot pays $800 on one coin, but yet On 3 coins, it's over 2,400, 800 times 3, obviously. So I'm a max coin guy when it comes to machines. Can I interrupt everything though? Fez, I hope this is okay to give this out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fez has a 3-star play,
Uh-oh.
which is when it's. I never really ask him if I can do this, but so when he has a 1-star, I probably wouldn't talk 3-star play just now. Oklahoma City, Denver under 217.5, which I am going to join Mr. Fezzik on.
He's got the under in Game 6 tonight.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't mind that I'm giving that out. I think it can only help him, right? I mean.
Chance Copperpot. I live here in Oregon. Less than a mile away from me, someone was gunned down over video lottery at the machine. It's considered very safe where I live. Always keep your head on a swivel. You never know. Over the lottery. Video lottery. Get the money racing. Quote, why is it always short when getting paid, unquote. I have a guy who still owes me money from 4 years ago, pays me $100 a month sporadically. If I showed you the text chain of excuses from health issues, car broken down, hospital pics, etc., you wouldn't believe it. Haha. I have a little business. I have a business case study 101 to share with you, and I am genuinely. I don't know that I have an opinion either way here, but I find it to be a fascinating business case study. It's happening right in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip.
Ooh.
So the crosswalk between, for those who are familiar with the Strip, there's an outdoor crosswalk between the Cosmopolitan and Crystal's shops,
sure,
which lead to the Arias. So
been on it a million times.
Been on a million times. By the way, Jimmy Vaccaro used to say to me, "Hey kid, you know what the hottest spot is in Vegas in terms of the temperature? That crosswalk.
Wow.
Right, when the sun is beating down, that crosswalk is the single most hot spot in all of Vegas. Anyway, that crosswalk used to have, much to some people's dismay, much to some people's delight, but maybe to a lot of people's dismay, they used to have a lot of folks singing for money.
Sure.
Right? So, and by the way, with varying degrees of singing talent,
yes,
it must be said. There was a duo of ex-military guys who had tremendous voices. They used to sing there. And when I say used to, I'm talking about like 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And then there's also a guy there who his shtick was almost how bad he was. So in the middle of this public crosswalk, and maybe the most busy place in the center of all of Las Vegas, there's this guy singing completely off tune some of your favorites, and it could be annoying to some people. Anyway, Jason Aldean has a new restaurant there. I don't know if it's called the Jason Aldean Grill or what it is. Anyway, it's in this new structure right in the middle of that crosswalk, for lack of a better term. There's also an Ocean Prime there. There's other businesses. But Jason Aldean, who happened to be, by the way, the artist that was on stage during the Las Vegas shooting, coincidentally as well. Yeah. But Jason Aldean has this restaurant there, and that establishment decided to aggressively shoo away all of the people singing for money.
Oh, wow.
They viewed it as a detriment to their business establishment. And when I say aggressively, right, I have witnessed with my own 2 eyes, the one guy who sings very poorly, they would take their public address mic. They have a microphone that they have an amplifier on, so they take it out of the restaurant. And wherever he was situated, he got all the way down the crosswalk. This is not even in front of the restaurant now. This is almost at the Cosmopolitan. So what's that, about a 30 yards? I'm bad with yardage. Maybe 20 yards down the way. It's not close to the big, front of the restaurant. But they would take their little PA system mic, and when he would try to sing, they would talk over, like to get him away from there.
Oh, wow.
So the question becomes, whose side of this are you on? Are you on this new business's side, who has basically shown up in Vegas and has taken it upon themselves to say, our business we're running a business, it's more important than all of this. I don't care what's been going on for all this time. We're getting rid of this stuff. Or are you on the side of the person who is just trying to scrape $2 together, but is, admittedly, in some cases, right, some people view it as noise pollution, what is the right side of this?
Yeah.
In the middle of the Las Vegas Strip.
I give my opinion. I don't know if it's right, but at least they're not just purely begging for money out there.
They're not. They're doing something.
So they're doing something.
Yeah.
I personally don't like when someone's sitting on the side with a guitar with a dog out in the middle. By the way, only like you said, one of the hottest places in town. It's so hot. and I don't like that. But at least they're singing and they're, providing a little something, maybe even comedy, like you said. But I understand it's a business too, so it's a very fine line you have to walk there. But my you know me. In the end, I'm on the public side 99% of the time. So
I am too, and especially because I witnessed the aggressive tactic of it, and I was just like, it's hard to be on their side when they do it that way,
right?
And their attitude was very capitalism. It was very, like, we're running a business, we don't care. He's scamming people. I was like, he's not scamming people. He's singing. Like, you don't have to give him anything if he doesn't want. There's no scam involved. These aren't 3-card Monte people out here. Anyway, so that was right in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip, and that's a little conflict that's going on. And if you walk that today, it is clear of everybody. Clear.
So they cleared it.
They cleared it.
Yeah, some of those crosswalks are very dangerous. If you remember, Cops was filmed on these crosswalks. For years, the Cops episodes... that were, I guess they were canceled or whatever, but they're in cancel culture. But they were filming in Vegas all the time. A lot of those episodes were on the crosswalks.
Wow.
That they would film. You guys did it again in here.
What did we do?
It's like 90 degrees. It's like you guys what are you guys, like a couple of like Jews in on a bottom floor apartment sweating?
I resemble that remark.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Morty, turn the heat on.
I have nothing to do with that.
I'm
nothing
sorry.
to do with that.
It's all right. It's good. It's good to keep my weight down.
What was it? Now, what was that? Where you were debating whether or not you wanted to talk about this or not?
No, I'm talking about this.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah. MGM. No. Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, Piero's, our restaurant we loved. I think Gil and I, that's our first time I met him. I took him to a restaurant.
First place we went. Yep.
Watch the game, and they treated us so good in there. The owners were always good to me. I filmed action in there. I mean,
Piero's famously, they shot a scene of Casino in there.
Oh, many scenes at
many
the bar
scenes of
there.
Casino. Yeah.
Remember, he said, "Al, did you tell me you gambled the money? Al, put the heat and electric on." And your wife called Frankie. That's that scene at the bar. But many scenes, even with De Niro and Sharon Stone at the table. I'll kill you in this place. You start shaking the booth. That's right in the room we sat.
Yeah, Piero's located on that street that connects the Strip to where the Westgate is, for instance.
Old Wise Guy Street there. Mm-hmm. The Wise Guys used to always hang out on that street. That street was, I think it was called Villa d'Este before it was Piero's. And so anyway, Piero's, the had some problems there with, and I don't want to throw anyone on the bus because we know the owners, the son, and so they had to close down. Temporarily, and they're reopening on their Steve Siegel's brand, Siegel Sweets. Steve Siegel came in and they bailed them out. They had some problems there. People have been asking me left and right about it. Text, tweets, emails, phone calls. But I think Piero's will be back. I mean, Piero's is a legendary establishment that we have in town here. And I think, did we go up to the office, me and you?
Yes, we did.
Oh, we did?
Yes,
because the owner asked me to go up to the office and look at all those beautiful photos. And, you're the one that pointed out that
pointed out.
Wait a minute, Franco Harris.
It was
something you pointed out. He had the wrong name.
He had a picture of Mean Joe Green up there.
Joe Green.
And it was labeled Franco Harris.
Wow.
And I had the chutzpah to tell him. I go, I think that's Mean Joe Green. And
you were right.
Yeah,
you were
right.
They never fixed it though.
They never. Yeah.
But no, it's a great establishment, great food, known for their ossobuco and.
But wait, so are they reopening? What's the story?
They're good. We're back. They're back.
Okay.
Yeah. But everyone's asking me, oh my God, can I go there? Of course you can go there. It's one of the great restaurants known in this town.
Yes. Steve Fezzik is on tomorrow. He's on the show. He is inevitably going to be talking about these NFL spreads that are out. The schedule release was yesterday. So we have a lot of books that put out lines for all of week one. And maybe in DraftKings will put out lines for everything here, if they haven't already in the coming days. Because that's how we do it now. And by the way, this is a new thing. Because 15 years ago, if you had said, I remember Andrew Garud there at Cantor Gaming. I remember sitting with him at the M. And I remember him putting out lines well in advance, and it was such an innovative thing at the time. People were like, what do you mean he's putting out a line in November? That's crazy. And he was like, why wouldn't I? In his British accent. But you've been in contact with Steve Fezzik, so before he's on tomorrow, you have some things to share with us?
Yeah, and, now that I'm looking at something, I just got a text, though, from someone about the DraftKings. About them putting they already have them up
for everything. Yeah,
they have them up, but unfortunately, their limits are like $500 and $250 for week 1, which is now I say it's low. At least they have it.
At least they have it.
So and the average bet in this country is less than $100.
Right.
So it's for the general public. And you know what? Yeah, this guy is absolutely right. DraftKings retail has been hurt so bad by so many sharps. They're absolutely scared of their boots from anyone who walks in the door. Well, anyone that's betting more than $500, they probably know what they're doing. Tying up their money now for week 1.
That's right.
Months and months from now, you probably know what you're doing.
Let me. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday before you even get into the specifics. How many people? I'm going to do it that way. How many people generally do you think are actually betting this stuff in May? Is it in the tens? Is it in the hundreds?
In the tens.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's not
unless you're betting $10 or $20 just to I like the Raiders this week 1.
Yeah, let's qualify that for $100 or more on this.
Yeah.
How many people are actually betting this far in advance? Because Stevie and I get into this because Stevie's like, "Oh, we gotta have so many of these. I gotta bet tomorrow." I was like, "Well, that's great, and we'll wait for you to do and tell us where you think the value is." But what I try to get across to him is, I think you are overestimating the number of people that actually behave this way, betting wise. Doesn't mean he's wrong. I'm just saying it's not kind of like, it's not the most rampant thing.
I myself yesterday made 4 max bets, 3, 3, 3, 3 on the sides, 3,000 on sides and 1,000 on totals, thanks to Westgate.
Give them a shout. Yep.
Putting up the lines. Unbelievably, right behind us, they don't have week 1 up yet, so I'll have to go over there and start shouting at them too. Week 1, got to give the Westgate credit. Westgate, MGM, I think, Caesars. I think these are the books that have the line. Obviously, DraftKings today with $500 limits, but so Steve gave me a couple that he thought were good plays too, and I said, Steve, can I? He's like, oh, you're A-okay to talk about these on your betting. I said, Steve, I'm going to give you the credit. I'm not going to take credit. So week 1, NFL. Boy, I don't even know who's. I don't even know. Let me see if I can pull up my odds screen to see who they're playing. But week 1 NFL, the odds screen may not. Yeah, they do have it. Yep, they got it. Okay, good. Game 469, Tampa Bay, Pick'em over Atlanta in Atlanta. Week 1. Also, game 473, San Fran. San Fran on the road. 2 road teams. Oh, Steve, I didn't realize that. San Fran -1 in Seattle. San Fran -1. So 2 road teams. Also a couple totals. Wow, it's 53.5.
So the Bucks. So we're showing the Bucks are already up to 2.5.
Where is that at?
So
I got the odds screen in front of me there. All right. They could be 2. Yeah. You know what? I see Rivers has 2.5. But Rivers, if you go in there with a pulse, they throw you out.
Now, Steve's point is right. Whether it's a few people doing this or not, they're going to move based on this. Yeah.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
So they're going to move.
Yeah.
Now, game 480, I didn't discuss this with him. Oh, no, he did get a good line. I'm wrong. Because it seems to me that's the prime time game. Buffalo and Baltimore. In Buffalo, 53.5 we got under. 53.5 yesterday. Yes, it is 52.5 now at Westgate. 51.5 BetMGM. So we got the best of it. But, by game time, you don't know. That's a prime time opening.
I was going to say, you have the best of it now, but who knows?
Right,
yeah.
You don't know by game time. Okay.
Yeah.
And his other one was Arizona, New Orleans under. Okay, let's see. Arizona game 468. Arizona, New Orleans. Yeah, he gets the best of it. Under 43.5, down to 41.5, and 42.5.
But with the best of it, again, let's qualify
for
that.
now.
Yeah, I mean, so sometimes...
We'll talk about it. See it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, some of that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because as we just said, how many people are actually betting this? And so maybe his size bet is actually moving this. Seriously, even the NFL this early will move based on this.
Oh, of course. I bet max bets on these. So they moved half a point off. I also bet 3,000 on our Raiders here, plus 3.5 at Westgate when it opened up. Now the line is 3 at Westgate, 2.5 BetMGM. Raiders playing New England. These are risky though a little bit too.
Yes,
because you don't know what's going to happen between then and now. You don't know the situations. But however, just the extra half a point around those key numbers is what we're going for.
I understand. I completely understand. And again, for a guy like Fezzik, that is that's a priority for him to do it now and to have what he believes will be the best in pocket once these games kick off. But who knows? Who knows with this stuff?
But they're taking opinions too, by the way.
You said you had like 4. Did you want to share one of yours that you didn't mention?
I just gave you one.
Okay.
The Raiders was
the Raiders one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you one on the Monday Night Football game.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football opening week in Chicago, Minnesota, Chicago. This goes to show you that the one is not that valuable. I'll tell you why. Right now, at the Westgate, the line is Chicago -1, right? At the other casinos in town, that's at BetMGM and Caesars, Minnesota is -1.5. That just shows you that the one really isn't that valuable of a number. Well, I want to tell you, though, it's more valuable than it was years ago before they moved the extra point back, before analytics came in the game going for 2. So maybe I'll step back on that comment a little bit. Vikings, Bears. If you have a side now on Monday, September 8th game, and you think something, literally, as you guys can see there, their line is the Bears -1.5, but yet Westgate is Chicago -1 still. So.
This is -1.5 here at DraftKings too in Chicago.
Oh, that's DraftKings.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, and here in town you can take one the other way.
One the other way. Okay.
Yeah. So that just interesting how goes to your point of Gil, tens. Because that line, you would never see that on the day of the game, 2.5 point difference. I understand it's around the 0, but you would never see that on the day of the game.
Yeah, so. It's by the way, from a content standpoint too, and Kelly and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, we texted about it, which is, everybody gets super excited about the NFL schedule release, and justifiably so. It's our religion. We all love football. We all love our favorite teams. We want to bet. But in terms of the actual betting behavior, it is a little bit overstated. And so for every Steve Fezzik that exists, I don't know how many of my listeners, and I have a really sharp group of listeners listening, right? I don't know how many of those folks will act on it in May because of the opportunity cost of having that money
4 months
tied up for 4 months.
Tie your money up for 4 months. Hope you're right.
Yeah.
But let me just be blunt. On these future lines, guys like Fez, guys like my other guy, they're right. They're right.
I'm not saying they're not right.
Comes to the line. Not saying it's going to win.
Yeah.
But they're right. They'll be on the right side of the line more than not.
That's right.
On these future type of bets.
I do not doubt that at all. I do not doubt that they will be on the best of the close in most cases. Of course, we all know that doesn't necessarily guarantee they will be on the right, right side of the result in the end. We shall see.